some of the Kiowa courses have to offer. Now it's time to dive in. Osprey Point, our next stop, and one of my favorite PGA professionals, Rick Ferguson, takes us to the 18th and the 9th at this great course on the island. th at Osprey Point. We've got a little bit of a blind tee shot, and I'm assuming there's some hazard that cuts into the fairway here on this par 5.
Not so much for the tee shot, but it will on the second shot. It's a pretty wide landing area, as typical for most of Osprey Point's holes, but you do have a large pond here, natural lagoon that down the left side. It's going to take a pretty bad shot before you hit it into that off the tee here. That'll come more into play on the second shot.
Oh, that'll play it every time.
I'll take that.
Oh. A little under 100 yards. You can see the pin, like you mentioned, in that little swale. Any chance I can throw it at that backslope and kind of bring it back?
Absolutely. You've got 75 yards here. Some people, that's kind of an in-between yardage.
Yep.
So if you want to be a little more aggressive, just don't go too far over, because now you put the ball in the back there. But you should be able to put some good backspin on the ball, take that as a backboard, really, and maybe come off of it. And if the wind holds it up, then you're going to end up right there in that swale and be in good shape for birdie.
Water on 16 of the holes can come into play. What makes this course so unique of all the ones out at Kiowa?
Well, it's very different, and that's the great thing, that all 5 of the golf courses are very different. So what they're seeing here is a golf course that is very pretty. It's very wide open sense, and that comes from tree line to tree line, but some of that's because the lagoons border so many of the holes. So they may come into play, but not as much on every hole. It's not like they have to negotiate water on all 16 of those holes. But most of the time, Mr. Fazio has left you places to play the ball and play a safe shot and negotiate the golf course without bringing the water into too much play.
All right, so you talked about it just a minute ago. How much do we want to bite off on this tee ball? I'm looking at the bunker, maybe just a little bit to the left of it as we carry this water.
That'd be an ideal location.
Okay.
Yeah. Depends on how good you're feeling about your drive.
Stay there. Fly.
That should be fine.
Oh, yeah.
Got about 178 yards, as is typical. It's kind of into the wind. So we've got a little bit of breeze, very light today, but we've got a large green, nothing in front of the green, so you can take a club to light or run it up there if you feel comfortable with that. And it's a deep green, so you know it's better long than short is kind of my opinion.
Come in a little bit.
Draw some.
Growing up in Florida, you get a putt and you're like, oh, this is fairly straight. If you don't look at the hole, you don't look at the grain,
right,
it's going to move on you.
Right, and this grass doesn't have grain in it, so it kind of fools people that are used to playing on Bermuda. But on the paspalum grass, it has its tendency to not break as much, so it kind of fools the players that aren't as familiar with it.
We've conquered a beast at the 9th. What makes this one of the signature holes out at Osprey?
Well, it's, again, being a golf course that's very user-friendly, this one will kind of test you. It's probably your biggest test on the front 9, and probably overall actually on the 18 holes, because you're staring at water, and it's how much do I want to take it on?
Yeah.
And a lot of people will bail out to the right and leave themselves a really long second shot. So you're going to have a good time, a good opportunity to make a decent score, but not a big score.